All right, it's a new year, but there is no shortage of projects around here, so we might as well get started, and I guess we'll do that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. We got a lot of stuff to work on. We might as well go over here and see if this old tire is still up. And it is. How about that? I did not think when we aired that up that that would hold very long. But it did. So one of the things we're going to do is finish painting that rim. But I think before we do that, I want to do something else so I don't get paint all over myself and then get it on the thing. So here we go. All right, I took possession of this brand new switch that controls the wire feed speed, because as we recall, the old one snapped off. So I want to go ahead and finish that, and then this thing is totally done, and we don't have to, you know, have it sitting here with bolts half in and half out. So that's what we're gonna do. I, of course, did not grab any tools because that's how I roll. So let me go do that and then we'll get started. Well, you'd think I learned, and I still didn't bring enough tools, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We just got to get... All right, what have I done here? Well, I put in a few just to help hold the cover on. Yeah. Oh yeah, we want to be careful again, because like I said, that blue thing is probably full of death. So I'm gonna be careful. I don't know if that's really how those work or not, but I mean, they could have made a more substantial switch so that a guy didn't destroy it, but all right. The plastic has a cutout, so you can only put the switch in one way. So that's good. Will the red pliers do this task? I think they will. Alright. And this little jommy should just go in there. And that clicks. And then our knob should go on there. What's happening here? Oh, there. Okay. Well, that's on there forever, so that's fine. Seems to be going. Perhaps we should do some scientific testing before we put it back together and make sure that it actually works. Well, we're gonna waste some wire, but let's see here. Start out slow. Yep, it works. However, I think I just unspooled the wire, but yeah. All right, so it does work. It's just that my wire is junk, and I need to definitely get a different spool of wire, because this one's just got too much corrosion on. Not all the time, but there'll be a little bit, and then it gets to where it doesn't want to feed through, and then it causes us sadness. So yeah, time to put the cover back on. And see here. I need to get that 1/4 inch drive job to put the old handle down, because that ain't going. It's cold out here again, I'm telling you. I know, as fascinating as it is to sit there and look at the top of my knee, but anyway. We'll just struggle with the wrong tools all the time. We have all the right tools, we're just too lazy to go get them. Oh, yeah. Come on. Come on. All right. What'd I do with the handle? I really feel like I want to clean that up first, though. That's kind of nasty. I think it'll come off of there if I just get some type of something. I bet it'll be brake clean. What do you think? Probably. All right. Now, I couldn't find a rag, but I have a coat, so we'll just do that right there. This old coat don't owe me nothing, so it might as well be. Man, that needs a little steel wool action or something. Get that buffed up again. The sides look like new, but the top of it look like garbage. But whatever. We'll deal with that at another time. AKA never. Let's see here. I don't remember. Were these 10mm? No. I think they're 5/16, which would be 8mm. There we are. All right. Well, we can call that project done. We'll get that cleaned up a little bit better. I do have a cover for it, so I need to just be more religious about keeping that on there. But anyway, that now will stay together. We'll get a better spool of wire, and then we'll be set to weld again. Another project I'm going to do today is drive to town and get the plates switched so we can start using that, because I'm over that diesel pickup. All right, so with that being still aired up, we need to assess our situation here. We also need to pick up our mess from summer, which we've never done. That is still a slight bit tacky. How about that? So it's good enough to flip over though and paint, so I have to be kind of scientific about it though. Painting in cold weather is a much different animal than all right, now that I got paint all over me, I think we're good to go. I'll get this topped off here. See, in the summertime we could have done this in the same day, but it takes longer in the winter for everything to dry. And then your paint can starts leaking and dripping. Fun fact I cut out of the video the other day, I dropped this paint can, knocked it off the edge of the truck, and that's probably why it's leaking now, so pathetically. It was a very sad thing, because I knew that it was going to be destroyed. It's miserable. But for the next coat, we'll switch to the other good can. That should fix our issue. I forgot, but there are some markings on there. I would assume that's like the wheel company markings. I don't know who John Deere used for wheels. You know, Oliver used electric wheel, but I don't know. All right. We'll let the failure set in on that a while, and then we'll, it'll probably take a day or so to let that dry, and then we'll try to find us a tire that would be similar in size to this that we can mount on there, and then we might be able to take that combine for a drive, so that'll be fun. So in that video with the mower, I could tell that the mower had a different sound, and I wasn't sure till I went and mowed with it, but that center blade is bent. It definitely gouged the ground, and when I did the editing on that video, you could see it. So I'll have to swap out blades. I may go ahead and take the deck off and clean it up and paint it like I was talking, but it's gonna go out here, and I finally got my plasticky rubber hay ring put together, and went to a 2 hay bale system here. So we're gonna see if that gains me an extra couple days or whatever. I don't know exactly how that's gonna go. It took them a while to warm up to that black rubber ring. They weren't interested in that one at all. So we'll see. I guess I'll buy another one and replace my broken ring, because that other one's like half a ring. But I'll tell you what, that thing was a pain in the Knudsen to put together. The rubber was kind of sprung, and then I didn't follow there was no instructions, but I put it together in such a way that I thought it would be stronger. I didn't put all the seams of the round parts in the same vertical line, and I think you have to, because I think the legs must be offset just ever so slightly, because I had a heck of a time. I had all but 2 I couldn't get in there, and I finally gave up and I drilled a little bit to get them to go, but that's fine. That's the way it's gonna be. It's supposed to last 100 years, so if it only lasts 50 now, hey, we'll take it. But now we have to fix our major screw up, which means we're gonna have to dig. And I don't really look forward to that, but it's gotta be done. This actually goes down, it's probably every bit of 3 feet deep here. This was a magical C virus project. It just so happened that right about the time that started, this drain plugged up that comes out of the house. It actually drains like the kitchen sink and I don't know, washing machine maybe, whatever. But anyway, what happened is this was originally like a I don't know what you call it. It was like a soft, meshy clay type stuff. It wasn't like the solid clay like you see the old clay tiles. It's got a name and I can't think of it, but it was like soft pipe. And what it amounts to is roots would finally penetrate that, and then it was just collapsed inside in a mess. So I dug up an end and thought I had it fixed. And then I was still having issues, so when we had that magical time when we couldn't go anywhere or do anything, I went ahead and took the loader tractor and shoveled this all out, and I had a heck of a hole. I bet it was, I don't know, in some places it was probably 6 feet across and 4 or 5 feet deep, and I laid new piping in. I didn't have a backhoe at the time, so we laid that in there. I say we, I did it by myself. And I put in some clean outs this time, which it never had before. It had one clean out that would do a run that was like, oh man, what would this be, like 200 feet long? Well, that was practically useless. If it clogged up, you couldn't get the whole run. So I put every so often, I put a couple, especially where it bends, I put some from each direction. So now you can get, if there's a clog, you can get pretty well anywhere. And then this is that schedule, what is it? Schedule 80 pipe. It's the heavier PVC pipe. So it should be, you know, good for the rest of my lifetime. But somehow I messed up on the math here, and I thought I was going to leave these just below the surface, and it didn't work out that way. And then I thought I can live with it, and I'll just put bricks around it. Well, you see what happened yesterday. I wasn't paying attention and clipped the corner of it. So now we get to dig down. This time it will be below the surface. It's actually hard to dig one-handed, so I might have to put you down. This whole area actually is full of my sea virus time projects. We need to get back on because they don't need to just be sitting around here. The co-op tractor, we need to try to get that running. Put a different motor in it, and then this grain truck had brake problems. Otherwise, it was a really good little truck. Oh, look at that. What have I done? Looks like I don't know what I did there. But I put a coupler in it for some dumb reason. But it's not going to be like that this time. Tree roots are already starting. I think that'll probably work right there. Get it cleaned out a little more. All right. Well, sadly, I'm gonna have to go to town to get that because I don't have any of that on hand. I guess I'll just saw it off right here, and then we'll put a new cap on it. Maybe that's why I couldn't do that. Maybe the only thing they had was that it's actually like a male-ended threaded cap. I don't remember. But at any rate, I think right over here, I have a piece of it left over. That shows you how long everything's been sitting. But schedule 40, that's what I meant to say. But that's what it is. So I'll get another threaded cap that fits that. That must have been what it is. It must have been a male ended thing because this one's the same way. So, and during that time, as you recall, there was no getting parts. You just took what you could get. So I think that's why I must have done that the way that I did, but that's neither here nor there. We'll saw it off behind that. If I have to get another coupler, whatever, it'll be fine. It's up enough now, I can get it, and that extra little bit will put it ground level this time. Yeah, I don't know what I should have done. I think I was actually planning on putting some gravel in here, and it was going to be higher, and that never happened. So whatever, we'll get it put in there. It'll never rot in the ground, and then we'll just lay a couple bricks over it or something so that we know where it is about all the time, you know. I don't just want to cover it with dirt and then have to be hunting all around where it is when I need it. I'd rather just pull a brick out and go. So anyway, I'm gonna go to town, hopefully go to the license branch for that white truck, and then get our parts for this, and then we can come back and fix it. All right, friends, I'm back from town for like the third time, and I don't know. Let me just say, town did not fail to disappoint me, because it's always consistent. I'm always disappointed when I come back from town. I did get the stuff we need to fix the drain. There's Buddy the dog. And I got enough to actually fix, I think I'm gonna just saw that other one off and put it below ground level. But trying to deal with the license branch. I do not know if it's this way across the entire nation or even the world, but it seems to me that right here where I live, or at least in this state, their goal is to see how mad they can get you and how quickly they can get you to that point. So the first adventure, I went in, I guess the problem is when going in with multiple vehicles, because I buy a lot of vehicles at different times. And so this time I had 3 vehicles. I had that Escape, which I was going to switch to my name, the white pickup, and that tandem grain truck. And I wanted plates on that and the grain truck, but not on this blue Escape. Well, you would have thought that I was asking for them to get Jesus out of the back to cure cancer, because it was like they couldn't handle it. I mean, the first guy I dealt with, he was tore up that I did not have, I accidentally said the word auction, and that was my mistake. They questioned why I only paid $1,500 for a 2016 pickup. And I guess what I said was I bought it at an auction and it had problems. Well, then if it came from an auction, you have to have paperwork from the auctioneer that says whatever, and you had to pay sales tax. And I said, no, none of that. I said, they handed me the title like the other people were handing me the title. They were just like the middleman. It's not like they transferred the title to the auction company and then the auction company transfers it to me. It's just the auction company just sold it and they handed me the title, which the other people had signed, and it was ready to sign over to me. Well, that was I don't know. I about blew a gasket on that, and it was the same way with that tandem truck. So I said, fine, I'll go figure something out. Called the auctioneer, his wife does the paperwork. She wrote me a receipt. So I go back, and one thing that we accidentally did, somewhere I got my wires crossed, and I must have said on the phone when I was talking to her that the tandem grain truck was a 74. Well, the title says it's a 76, and then they threw a fit about that. I had to sign a whole nother paper to say that that receipt that she made up was wrong. Well, then they got mad at me and said, what's your insurance policy number for this vehicle? And I said, the same as all my other vehicles. I use State Farm. And I have always done it this way. Go to the license branch, transfer it over, then talk to State Farm, and they added on whatever, because you're technically covered. Like, my policy extends to whatever I have. If I go buy a vehicle today in another state, I can get in it and drive it home, and my insurance covers it on the trip. It's fine. Well, no, she said, you got to have a specific policy number for this one vehicle, and each one's different. And then she was hounding me and said, call him right now, just call him. And I got so mad. I said, I got to get out of here. I just left. She had my driver's license. She had all those titles. She had my checkbook, and I just walked outside. I had enough of it. And I called the insurance company, and she said the same thing. She said, your policy number extends to everything you own. So just give her this number and fine. She said, we can do the other stuff over the phone. And I said, I would rather just come and talk to you in person tomorrow, because I said, I'm about burned out of it today. So that's what happened. Well, after about losing it on this lady and walking out the door, when I came back, she had all 3 things sitting there ready to sign. Apparently another employee must have said, hey, we've reached the limit with this guy. Let's just do what he wants. And that's what they did. So the plates are in the mail. I got the temporary plates for this. I can drive it in the tandem grain truck. And I'll go in tomorrow to town and pick out what variety of insurance or what things I want on each one. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that difficult, because essentially all you're doing is giving them money. It's just a phony baloney thing that the government's come up with to take our money. So why can't you just take the money and shut up? Why do you have to make it also make me angry at the same time? Just take my money. I'm mad enough that I'm giving away money, but then when you don't want to take it and make it more difficult for me and I have to make multiple trips, I just got a problem with that. But whatever, we got to fix that drain, and I got to calm down so that maybe I'll live another year. Well, I should have went to the other side of the old service truck, because I need a battery for the reciprocating saw. I bought some new blades that are long enough. Interestingly enough, when we were done, they have the little keypad thing there at the license branch, and it's got two choices of buttons you can push. One is a smiley face and one is a mad face. And she said, please mark down whether you had a smiley face or a mad face. And then she said, I don't care which one you push. And I said, well, that's good, because I know which one I'm gonna push. Yeah, it just doesn't have to be that difficult. Okay, I think we got enough stuff now. We're calmed down enough that we're not gonna lose our marbles. But one thing I said, I keep thinking about this because I'm still ticked off. I told that lady, I said, how come the guy on the other end tells me something completely opposite of what you do, and you people can't get your act together? And she's like, that's our policy. So yeah, I'm starting to believe that is their policy. Either that or they all go to training on different days and nobody knows what the other person learned. So I'm just not sure. Okay, I'm sure what you wanted today was to listen to an 8-minute rant from a guy about the switching license plates. But so the nice thing is, this time I was able to get the female style, so I can just saw the pipe off, put it right on, because I'm sure that's what happened here. This was one piece, I'm guessing, or something. I don't know why I would have done that otherwise. Let's just steer into the street. I probably should have got some cleaning something or other, but I'm not gonna. This is good enough for who it's for here. The ground don't care. She's not that clean. I also bought more glue because I wonder how many of these I actually own, because every time I think, I don't know where it is, I'll just buy more. So, and I'm gonna have to get something to open it, I guess. Like the red pliers, because I can't physically turn that now, so that's handy. There's no use. I'm thinking maybe there's tools laying around. Forget it. Let's just walk back and try again, because we know that's how it's gonna be. Today has pretty well locked in the failure, so we're doing good. 2 for 2. 2 days, first 2 days of the year, failure on both. So we're finding the happy place for 2024. Come on, red pliers. There we go. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Are we there yet? I hope so. It would make sense to take the lid off, put it on like that first, because otherwise it might get airlocked and not go all the way down. That's what I'm saying. So, sure. What you're going to want to do is drop the brush down in the pipe, or at the very least in the dirt. There. That's much more better. See, now we're well below the, we're well below the grade now. So that's good. if we take a, do we want to take a brick and put it down in there? And then we may lay another one here or something, just to mark where it's at. We might just leave it with this one brick and that's good enough. Bury it in there. Look at that. Might need a little more dirt from settling, but I don't mind digging up, you know, a little bit if I have to. Might actually lay that brick in there. Sure. At least now we won't hit it with the mower anymore because the grade is higher on both sides. So I'm thinking that the same is in order for this, because I really don't want to be doing the same thing, although this one is kind of in a different place. I was trying to remember why it ended up that way, and I think the reason is I assembled this whole contraption out here on the ground, and then when I laid it in there, something just wasn't pitched quite right, and I just went with it. But like I said, I was planning on, I think, bringing in some gravel. So, whatever. Let's extricate this a little more. Would be a lot more fun with a backhoe, but sometimes you gotta have a hand job, you know. Ooh. This one has rocks in it, I think. There we go. Uh-oh, Rick. All right. Sure, we're leaking glue. That's great. That's what we needed. That looks like a pretty place, doesn't it? Although it pains me to saw off a brand new cap, I should have just done this the first day, instead of inevitably waiting for me to hit it with the mower. Oh yeah. That's probably good. All right. We're a little dirt shy there, but I think we'll get some more and level that over. I gotta move that channel iron. There's actually channel iron laying in there. That's from that project that we never did on working on the old grainovator, adding a scale. So yeah, but for now that takes care of our problems. So we can mow across here without paying attention and life will be fine. We just got to remember to pick up our rest of our mess, our bricks. All right. Okay, well, we got it done, and I don't know that this was a great video either, but it's what I was into today. So we'll get back to some more exciting stuff at some point. It's just hard to come up with neat things to do in the winter, but that's how she rolls. So as always, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment. That stuff doesn't cost you anything. It's supposed to help me out. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.